That's 3 wins in a row for the Detroit Lions, and welcome back to MLive's Dungeon of Doom podcast, post-game edition. Ben Raven here with Kory Woods.
What up, though?
Hey, we're doing all right. It's 7:19 p.m., Sunday, September 28th. We're recording from Ford Field's press box right after the Lions won 34-10 against the Cleveland Browns. And on a day where the offense wasn't perfect or consistent, the defense and the special teams came to play, and the old reliable of Goff and St. Brown slammed the door shut.
I mean, it was just a really weird game to start out. I know we're going to probably get into it later on, but I mean, this is the fourth straight game that they've given up a touchdown.
Yeah.
On the defense is giving a touchdown up on the opening drive. Offense didn't look great out the gate, but again, while the Browns' offense is not great, their defense is something to be reckoned with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of the things that we saw from miscues and things that did not look right from the Lions, part of it was on them, but I think a lot of it was they just played a really good defense that frustrated them into doing some of those things. So, you got to give hats off to them. I mean, you look at the score, the Lions put up 34 points, but I mean, the Browns didn't give it to the Lions easy. I mean, they didn't make life for them easy. So, hey, it's a great win. To me, it's another good test for that offensive front, in their communication, having, deal with guys like Malik and Graham, and of course, the generational pass rusher that is Myles Garrett. And, they passed the test.
Yeah, they did. I mean, let's talk about the first drive woes. That is a touchdown on the opening drive.
Yeah.
4 straight games. Kelvin Shepard's talking about wanting a 3-and-out to start a game. How about just keep him off the scoreboard to start with? It's one of those games where he's probably going to be like, man, you take away that first drive, and this looks like an all-time elite showing from the defense because the man coverage was getting eaten alive on that first drive. Flacco was 7-7 for 50 yards. Mm-hmm. You take away that first drive, Flacco is 9 of 27 passing for 134 yards with 2 interceptions. So, started rough, got cleaned up big time. And while a lot of people are waving the flag on the offense today for scoring 34 points. A lot of short fields today. Yeah. A lot of short fields. The Khalif Raymond punt return, which we will dissect later on for sure, because that's just another big-time play from that dude. Just a heartbeat guy of the team that Jared Goff said when I asked about him. And just when you have a team that finds ways to win, different ways to win, shootouts, defensive showings, special teams and defense days, that is a mark of a good team.
I mean, as high-powered as the Lions' offense is, you're not going to you're not going to do what you did to the Bears every week. It just does not happen. I'm sorry, but again, good teams find ways to win games. And one thing that has been consistent with this team under Dan Campbell is they're going to find a way to win. It may not be pretty. It may not be the way you want them to win, but they're going to find a way. They're going to exhaust every resource that they have to pull out the W. And today it was just a little bit different. They got a couple of takeaways. Could have had 3. And 3 interceptions. They did have 3 takeaways, but they could have got 3 interceptions. And, Aiden Hutchinson, people were worried about this guy coming out the gate. I'm like, well, give it a minute. He's coming back after not playing football for basically a year.
Yeah.
And, even though he trained in camp, we're talking about having him against competition. He broke his leg. Give it time. Now, stats are probably changing as we speak.
Yeah.
But at least at the time of this recording, he is tied for 3rd in the NFL with 4 sacks.
Yeah, 4 sacks in 4 games.
So,
and another forced fumble.
And another strip.
And had 1 taken away.
Yeah. So he could have had 3. He could have been tied for 1 with Burns. So, this team, as I said right now, this team is gonna, without the preseason, I think they're gonna start a little bit slow out the gate. New coordinators got to get that communication right. Even St. Brown talked about it after the game. Got to work on that communication because he still doesn't believe the offense is at its best yet. But hey, they're not peaking right now, and that's a good thing.
That is a good thing. And we'll stick with the defense because the Aiden Hutchinson stat from NFL Pro that's caught my eyes, 9 pressures today on 36 pass rush attempts. It's his most in a game since week 4 of last season. He had 5 of those 9 pressures against Brown's backup right tackle, Cornelius Lucas. Hats off to Hutchinson. I mean, whenever you put a backup offensive lineman in him, he makes him look like a backup offensive lineman. He had both of his sacks and 3 of his 4 quick pressures against Lucas. A quick pressure is it took him less than 2.5 seconds to get there. Think about that. He had 4 of those plays today. 3 of them against Lucas. 2 of them were sacks. 1 of them was a forced fumble. And he had another strip sack taken away from him. I mean, you can talk about the lack of pass rush depth as much as you want. Lord knows we have. But when you've got Aiden Hutchinson, you've got it better than most. And today was a reminder of what Brett Holmes was talking about all offseason long. Like, hey, teams would kill for that guy. And we got one.
You know what? And that's what I was going to kind of go with it. One of my avid commenters, he was just like, hey, I too would like us to have more pass rusher depth. But at the end of the day, we're talking about the Lions need to go out and go acquire a top pass rusher. They have one.
Yeah, they got one.
They have one.
Yeah.
Just maybe get some more rotation guys in there. But the Myles Garrett, the Max Crosby.
We were never about that.
Yeah.
No,
I'm just saying the guys that the people that are like screaming that for that kind of guy, you have one in the making. And you know, he's showing up. And
yeah, he is.
If he continues to play the way that he's playing right now, he's basically almost picking up where he left off last year in that early defensive player of the year conversation. So we'll see what happens next week when they go against the Bengals. But I mean, right now, it seems like Hutch is starting to really get back into his groove.
Yeah, and it's a pretty premier matchup for Hutchinson against the Bengals offensive line, especially without Joe Burrow back there too. I mean, that's another opportunity to have a really big day. And he did have a big day today. 4 quarterback hits, 2 tackles for loss, had the forced fumble, should have had a second one. That was the one penalty I scratched my head on. I just couldn't see the defensive holding call on that one. You know, whatever. But like what you said.
It was some weird calls all around for me today.
Yeah, and to your point about Hutchinson against the run too, and Dan Campbell spent a lot of time on that too after the game. Coming into this game, when teams run at Hutchinson, they were only averaging 3.1 yards per carry. That's 4.25 yards on the other side whenever they run away from Hutchinson. And I mean, that is one of the top marks in the league. I mean, he is an elite pass rusher. He is a workhorse who plays almost more snaps than anyone out there, not named Max Crosby. And the forced fumbles are a new thing.
Yeah.
I mean, those are coming in bunches now. He said he learned the punch out from Amik, and every time he breaks that pocket and gets a clean look at a quarterback, he's strifing for that ball. And I mean, dude, when it's just a reminder of how much he can take over a game and just change an offensive game plan, because Browns were forced into passing a lot. They would have loved to run Quinshon Judkins. He is a hard runner. That's a tough rookie running back right there. That's going to be very good. But like when you're up by multiple scores for the whole game, pin your ears back and get after it.
You know, Hutch was already showcasing how dominant he could be over the past couple of years. Now he's adding this punch out back to back.
Yeah.
You're hoping to get maybe 3 or 4 of those, maybe 5 a year.
Yeah.
This guy is right now at 2 in back-to-back weeks. I don't want to say, hey, I don't want to tell people to expect this to be a thing, but if he continues to make runners gun shy or make people gun shy that he can do that, that's just he's just making himself even more dynamic than what we expected. So
yeah. And he was kind of alone in pressure creation today on the defensive line, but like Anzalone showed up, Jack Campbell showed up. Nowaski has been huge since he made his season debut last week, I think it was. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. I forget, but Nowaski's been great since he's been in there with the defensive rotation. They are finding a pass rush from other guys. It's just you need to keep finding that.
Yeah.
Because if you can free up Hutch, if you can take a chip away, he's always going to face double teams and extra attention. But like anything you can do to just take guys elsewhere and get that guy free, he's going to eat. I mean, he is. I mean, he's a workhorse. El-Quadin Muhammad and him, that's why they like that pairing. Workhorses. Yeah. But we need to talk about injuries. We came into today wondering what the rotation was going to look like between Terrion Arnold and Amik Robertson after all the talk this week about a rotation coming there. Before Arnold's shoulder injury that knocked him out for the rest of the game in the third quarter, he had 30 snaps to Robertson's 19. It was not as heavy as a rotation. Robertson did play some outside corner, but it was not as a major shift like maybe we were led to believe, but that talk don't matter. We can't talk about that anymore because now Arnold's dealing with a shoulder injury, and it's not looking good for DJ Reed.
Yeah, I seen it immediately. That was on that
ball was in the air.
That PBU from on Jerry Jeudy. When he came down,
dude,
he immediately grabbed his hammy and started rolling. I'm like, oh, that is not good because it wasn't just the fact that he grabbed it. He did the grab and a slight crawl. I don't know if anybody really saw that. And I'm like, that means he knows he cannot get up on his own power. And I don't know if I've ever seen a cart come out that quickly. Yeah, I mean, it was just like, I knew it was coming, but it just was out there. And I'm like, okay, yeah, he knew.
And I got to give some love to Reed because that ball was in the air when he first clutched at his hamstring. He still tried to make a diving stop on the play. It was a big third down play. I think it was a 10-point game at that point. Led to the Raymond punt return. That's right. It was 20-10 early in the fourth quarter. Browns have the ball, taking a shot on third down. Dude suffers a hamstring injury. Still has a hand in making the play. But yeah, I mean, he was flat on his back on that cart off the field. It's there wasn't much of an update after the game. Dan Campbell just said Reed's injury is obviously more serious than Arnold's. I mean, the most I can give you guys right now is what Campbell said is that he's not going to play next week at a minimum. And he left the door open for maybe Arnold to play, but he also said, like, we don't know if we're going to have him this week either. So all of a sudden, we're talking about Terran Arnold's play getting more reduced to, if he's healthy,
CB1.
You're CB1 again. And if he's not healthy, it's Amik Robertson, Khalil Dorsey, Rock Ya-Sin, maybe Avante Maddox. He played some safety today when Kirby Joseph went out. Joseph suffered a knee injury on Reed's interception return. He did return too. Great sign there. I think the knee injury for Joseph is just something that he's going to deal with all season.
Yeah, he was dealing with that since training camp. And, Jim O'Neill, I believe he said he was, he was working through some things. Stuff. So
another pick.
Yeah.
A gift from the gods.
that one, I'm like,
Joe, where are you throwing that?
Did you think that was going on about? Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm the guy that kind of like stalks the social media. So DJ Reed after the game tweeting positively. Obviously that doesn't mean anything as far as his injury prognosis, but he at least appears, if you're judging from his account, he appears to at least be in good spirits. Was just talking about everything was a part of the plan, re-showcasing his first pick. And then, I mean, like I said, as far as Kirby, I mean, hey, Kirby has me kind of jealous right now. He's over at Fixins with a really nice and appetizing plate.
He's already tweeting food?
Oh, he's already tweeting food. I mean, he's got like 2 big fried chicken breast with gravy and macaroni. I'm like, I gotta go.
He earned it. He earned it today. I mean, he's earned it. I mean, he earns it every time he's on the field. I mean, I think people just think of Kirby as this ball hawk and go out and get it safety, kind of a little wild child, but no, he's a leader. I mean, he's a leader, an energy source, someone who has taken every young defensive back on that roster under his wing, and just to see him fight through the pain, work through the pain. I mean, he was jogging up and down in front of us on the sideline for 10 minutes coming out of halftime, and eventually they gave him his helmet back, and he went in. And, I mean, that's a Dan Campbell gamer right there.
Yeah. The one concern I do have for the secondary, and I know some people may rake me over coals for this. I mean, it's a bit blasphemous.
I love when you start a sentence like that.
Oh, yeah. Because everybody loves Brian Branch, and, you have to love his play, but it seems like every week there is a penalty created by him that just puts the Lions defense in bad field position to have to work against, and makes them have to work a little bit extra harder than what they really should have. And I'm just wondering, you got to take the good with the bad with him because of just how darn good he is.
He's awesome.
Just wonder if there's something there that maybe Kelvin can get through to him to clean up on, because I know at some point those 15-yard penalties are going to get a little bit old.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think there was one he followed after one of his 2 defensive holding calls today with a just sick pass deflection. I mean, he broke up 3 passes today, and honestly, I'm just trying to figure out how the Lions go from here, because I'm working with the assumption that they're without Reed next week, 100%. And I would doubt Terrion Arnold is ready for next week too. So I mean, do you move Brian Branch into that slot safety role he was playing at the end of last season? I mean, he's still playing a little of that from time to time, but like, is that a full-time shift? And you figure something out, maybe put Maddox back at safety or change something about the defense. But like, I don't know, right now it's like, Robertson and Dorsey are the top 2 cornerbacks right now, and there's some pretty good receivers in Cincinnati to be wary of, even with the quarterback switch back there. I don't know. I don't know. I think Brian Branch is someone who can lift this defense with or without anybody else on the field. But like in moments like this, Brian Branch gives them the versatility that they need moving forward. But yeah, it's welcome back to the outside cornerback world of Meek Robertson.
Yeah, I mean,
that's my takeaway.
Yeah, the immediate for next week, that's going to obviously be the big concern because you're having to worry about T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
Yeah. Don't matter who's throwing.
Don't matter who's the order that is.
Yeah.
And then long term, you're wondering, okay, just how long is Reed going to be out? Is it going to be something where it's like maybe just a couple of games or we're talking about 4+ weeks here and he needs to go to IR? Because
I'd be shocked if it wasn't.
Yeah, because if we're talking about an IR situation, I'm not throwing any names out there, but hey, you may have to look into seeing what's out there on the market, and then just, whoever you can get, that just only improves your rotation throughout for the rest of the year. But you might have to look at something.
Yeah, you might have to. I think they have a lot of faith in Robertson, no matter where he's at.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of faith in Brian Branch wherever he's at too. But it just does make me wonder, like, how much shaking do they do with the slots there? I don't know. I mean, perfect world, split Branch between the safety and the slot and figure it out. I mean, they've cross-trained Yasin. Vante Maddox has played every position too. I mean, that's why those guys are here for moments like this. So I'm just really curious to see what they say and what they actually do in terms of the secondary rotation, because Arnold hasn't been playing great, but they need him.
They do.
And especially if DJ Reed's going to be out too. So that's tough. That's real tough. The Reed stuff, it doesn't look good. I mean, like you said, that cart was out in an instant.
That was out.
There was no trying to get him to his feet.
Yeah, it was just like, I've never seen the cart come out that fast. So it just showed me like, okay, this could be looking like an IR situation. That's tough because, just the way that he's been starting to assert himself into the defense. And
Reed has been a perfect fit here.
You lose Carlton Davis to free agency, then you get him in here, and then this happens this early. It's unfortunate, but hey, this is the game.
Yeah. Let's flip to the offensive side of the ball. Not the greatest day on offense. Missed a lot of short field opportunities. The defense gave him a lot of chances. There were some solid kick returns and punt returns all game long, it seemed like, too. 30 yards. They got on a couple kick returns. But, the offense just kind of kept stubbing its toe a little bit.
Yeah.
They turn it over on downs in the red zone. They kick on their first drive of the game on 4th and 3 from midfield. I mean, I get the thought, because you're like, all right, we can hold the Browns back. Let's start the next drive with good field position. But I was like a little surprised that they punted on that first drive of the game. It's 4th and 3 at midfield. It's Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I mean, right there. Now, I will say this. Them not going for it right there, that shocked me. But when they went for it early, later on the 4th and 2, I'm like, okay, I was shocked you guys didn't go for the field to go there. But, it was kind of wacky. It was kind of wacky in that sense. But, I mean, I was also shocked, too, at the lack of touches that Montgomery got. I thought he could have got a little bit more. But, I mean, also, too, that Browns defensive line is
very
just
good.
They're very good. I mean, I've never seen Malik Collins play up close and personal, but
he went untouched on that one tackle for loss in the first half. I mean, he was quick. I mean, when Dan Campbell called him their other game wrecker, he was not lying. No. And Garrett looked great today, too. I mean, he started bat out of hell on Taylor Decker the first drive, came back first or second play, the second drive, blew up a screen, and I was just like, this dude is such a problem.
There was like at least 5 times I saw Garrett get in the backfield and I held my breath because I thought he was about to light Goff up, especially on that one where Goff got outside the pocket and hit St. Brown on a dart. Yep. I'm like,
But for the 3rd straight game, the Lions have not surrendered a sack. That is the first time since the NFL started tracking stats in 1982. The Lions have gone 3 straight games without giving up a sack.
I mean, hey, when we're talking about that team having the communication problems that they did in week 1.
Yeah.
And now you go 3 straight games without Goff getting a sack. Hey, that just goes to show you one thing. They were not giving, I think I probably said this last week, they were not giving us lip service when they said these communication errors can be fixed.
Yeah.
And they've proven it. They proved it against a Bears team that had good pass rushers and a good front. Even though the Ravens were without one of their top guys, still a respectable defense, and maybe not this year. And but the Browns, you saw Goff out there running for his life, and he still did not get touched. So you got to give the O line, credit.
The O line was seriously though, and I got to give some credit to Goff because Garrett was credited with Pro Football Focus has like live tracking stats during the game, and they take them down after the game to finalize them. They had Garrett with 8 pressures. He hit Goff twice, but you got to give Goff some freaking credit for his pocket presence, his ability to stand in there, not afraid to take a hit, and also, listen, I'm not calling him Lamar Jackson, but he knows when to move.
Yeah,
and he knows when the timing and when we're talking about the communication issues on the line. So much of that credit goes to Goff for cleaning that up. I mean, Dan Campbell took a moment to talk about that and because he was asked about the St. Brown touchdown, the second of his 2 touchdowns that really put the game away in the second. And he's like, Goff went to the line. He changed the offensive line's call. He changed the play call. He shifted 2 other things. He called Hut, and St. Brown's wide open for a touchdown, and the protection is perfect. I mean, Goff's command on this offense and his understanding on opposing defenses and him being the ringleader for that offensive line cannot go understated.
I think also, too, is that you're just seeing Goff really, to me, step into his prime years. And I know for some people that may be kind of crazy to say, but you got to really think this guy is 31.
Yeah.
If it feels like he's been in the league forever, but he's only 31.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much just seeing him. He's in a place where he wants to be, and they want him, and he has that true command over this offense, something that you can probably argue he didn't have when he was with the Rams. So, I mean, him going up there, changing the call, and being empowered to do so by Dan doesn't surprise me. And I think we're just seeing Goff evolve into just being a better quarterback even more. And it also kind of takes me back to something. I don't want to mess the quote up too much, but I believe it was during the combine when we first met with John Morton. He just pretty much said that he just wanted to clean some things up and be a little bit more efficient. And the interception Goff threw today, I don't know if I want to put too much of that on him. I'm not sure, but aside from that, I mean, he's been playing lights out.
Goff put that interception on himself.
He did?
Yeah, he did. He said there was a miscommunication there, and he owned it.
Okay.
But, yeah, I think the growth you're seeing from Jared Goff speaks to what it means to have a franchise behind you, to a franchise that believes in you, to a franchise that is giving you as close to full ownership of an offense as you can get. I mean, and you're just seeing what he can do with it. I mean, you're not off base. He's in his prime. His play style makes me feel like he's got a lot of time left. He's 31. People talk about him like he's...
Yeah, they're like, you got to draft Goff's successor, his replacement. I'm like...
That last contract he signed might not be his last year.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. He'll probably, 35, 36 at the end of that one?
Yeah.
That's still
his play style holds up. I mean, historically, looking at the guys who play for as long as they do, kind of looks like Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Especially with this offensive line. But one thing I loved from the offense today, Jahmyr Gibbs hit a couple big runs. Yeah. He's been bottled up. He had 91 on 15 carries and a touchdown, 5 straight games with a touchdown at Ford Field. St. Brown caught all 7 targets in his way, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's got 6 touchdowns in 4 games. There's only one other Lions receiver that's done that through 4 games. And what's his name, Kory?
It's got to be Calvin.
Yep, it's Calvin Johnson. The one not concerning, ugly aspect of the offense today was the Goff JMO connection. First play of the game, 13-yard catch for JMO. Missed his next 6 targets. Finished with 2 catches for 40 yards. They gave him a catch on the little end-around jet sweep toss there. But, yeah, 2 catches on 8 targets. You know, the deep shot that Goff put right on the money. Like, tough throw. Put it right where it needed to be. I knew that ball was hitting the ground the second I saw JMO's head go to the right, go to the left, go back to the right, go back to the left. And I was like, uh-oh, that's not getting caught. And it hit him right on top of both of his hands. It's a tough play.
Yeah.
This is the NFL. You just signed a massive extension, and Goff put that ball exactly where it needed to be. And then there was the free play where the Browns jumped off sides. Oh, my goodness. If JMO didn't look back on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he was just getting into his route, so I'm not going to sit here and rake him over the coals or anything, but man, if he just looks at his quarterback once, I think that's a touchdown.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, Goff put that on himself, too. You know what? Whatever. That's what the captain's going to do. He said Jamo's one of the best in the league, just got paid for a reason, and I'm going to go to him as much as I possibly can. But, man, I'd like to see a little more cohesion from that connection. You know?
Yeah, because, I mean, because the connection that he has with St. Brown, it's money.
It's unbelievable.
It's butter.
It's unbelievable.
If you can even get an inkling of that with Jameson, you're now talking about the most explosive potentially explosive offense in the league being basically uncheckable.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, I mean, I think the connection between Goff and St. Brown, if that's St. Brown running the seamer on that free play, that's going for a lot.
Yeah.
Because Goff saw it. He's like, oh, my God, it's there. So, yeah, 2 catches. One of those was a jet toss sweep on 8 targets. Not their cleanest day. Had a couple chances, man. They did have a couple chances. Credit to Goff for keep going back to him. But that's something that needs to get ironed out, I think. You know, this wasn't just – I don't think this today was something you can just overlook. It's hey, let's get on the same page again. Not that they're not on the same page or have a good connection.
But just work on – just get that fine-tune. Like, go back, look at the tape. Okay, where were we wrong at?
Yeah.
And then fix that going into the next game because, I mean, even though the Bengals are in a pretty bad shape right now, you go in the next game and you go ahead and pick up that W. Okay, now you're sitting really in a – I don't want to say comfortable, but you're just sitting really pretty for the gauntlet you're about to run. You're about to go into
it's back-to-back road trips after this. It's Cincy, and then it's Kansas City, and then it's Monday Night Football against the Bucs, and then it's a bye week.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're – I'm not even going to get ahead of myself. You win 2 out of the next 3, and they're 6-2 going into the bye.
You can't ask for anything else.
This was a very tough schedule to open with.
Yeah.
I mean, I know everybody – it's the Browns. That defense is legit.
And that's not, you can't overlook it. They're off the Browns offense. We know what it is.
They just beat the Packers.
But that's right. The Packers that said they were going undefeated.
Yeah.
So,
man,
I mean, yeah.
They got a heck of a rookie running back in Judkins, and I thought the Lions did a pretty good job on containing him, but man, he runs hard. Yeah. And that was someone that the Lions continued to give credit to all week and after the game. Like, that rookie runs hard. And, hey, yeah, the offense could have been better. I mean, Montgomery, 9 carries for 12 yards after his 151-yard showing in Baltimore. That's a tough day at the office. But, his rushing style and the plays that he gets chances on, that kind of played right into Cleveland's hands on what they stuff and what they're able to track down. Well, Gibbs was able to break a couple. Had a long at 24, and I think he had a couple other explosives too, and you'll take that. That's
the one thing about having both of those backs. I mean, you may be able to slow down one of them, but – there are very few times you're able to stop both of them.
Yeah. And we're going to get out of here talking about the hero of the day, Khalif Raymond. Dan Campbell missed an opportunity to say everybody loves Raymond. He said everybody loves Leaf. I made sure to put that on my story. But just talk about someone. There's Nick Baumgartner of The Athletic had a perfect tweet. Everybody talks about Dan Campbell guys. There might not be a more Dan Campbell guy than Khalif Raymond. He is someone who came here as a journeyman wide receiver, had less than 400 receiving yards to his name with 4 or 5 different teams under his belt. And he's just made himself one of the guys. Jared Goff called him a heartbeat teammate. His punt return today, man, that was a 20-10 game in the fourth quarter. Offense was wasting a couple of nice prime opportunities, and he said, I got this, guys. 65 yards to the house. And it came on a day earlier this week, Campbell said, him and Phipp had a meeting, and they said, we're going to tell Khalif to cut it loose. Be aggressive on punt returns. Cut it loose. Look what happened.
There are, they talk about, everybody talks about how you can't take St. Brown for granted, and, he is one of those players. I think Khalif Raymond is right there with them. Yes. I mean, when you talk about the work ethic that St. Brown has, staying after practice on the jugs machine, catching all those passes that we see in training camp, Khalif Raymond was right there with him.
He's always right there.
He's always right there. And, when they were coming out, when they were starting this whole thing under Dan Campbell, he was one of their leading receivers. When they started to grab
he was.
I mean, when they started to add more talent, he still found a way to find his way in this offense as maybe a gadget guy. Now he's on special teams.
Yeah.
He's owning that. And that's why every year, it seemed like almost every year, they were giving him a slight extension to keep him here because this is a guy that just works hard, and whatever they give him, whenever they call his number, he just answers the bell.
Yeah.
And you cannot lose guys like that. And that punt return today, you know, I know I'm going to do something on it. He just talked about like the rush he gives from that compared to catching the touchdown. It's a little bit different, but I mean, can't say enough about that guy. He's the true definition of a lunch bell guy. Comes in, punches the clock, works his butt off, punches out.
He's a reminder for every new player or rookie that comes here that if you buy in, you perform at a high level, and you set the tone for how you work, there's a place for you here.
Mm-hmm.
We just did it. We've talked about Isaac Tesla for 2 months. Guess who's wide receiver 3? It's Khalif Raymond. Guess who's still making plays? It's Khalif Raymond. Tesla is going to be great. I fully believe that. He's going to have a bigger role this season. I believe that. Don't forget about Khalif Raymond because the Lions have not. And he's also in the vying for husband of the year, too.
Oh, man.
What a guy.
I want to use the quote that my friend used about that. I'm not going to do it because I'm not getting in trouble, but I would just say.
Put us all to shame.
I would just say if you follow Chef Geach, you'll see a quote that he made about you'll see a quote that he made about that touchdown. I'm like, that's brilliant.
Yep. No, he jumped into the crowd, gave the ball to his wife, little smooch, got back to action, talked about it after the game, and just said we've always kind of wanted to have a moment to ourselves. And as soon as I was out, I was like, "Where's my wife? Where is she?" But all I see is her, and she's got a bun in the oven right now. So see them too. I was in one place at that time. I just texted her like, "Hey, all 3 of us were there for that moment." I mean, he's so likable. He's one of the hardest, if not the hardest working guy in that locker room. He's probably the shortest guy on the roster. He probably weighs like 175 pounds. And he's in year 5 in Detroit. And he just continues to cement himself as someone who not only means something to that locker room, but means something to this team on game day. He's the one who put it away today.
He was the nail. He was the proverbial nail in the coffin.
He caught that freaking punt at the 35-yard line along the sideline. There was a guy 2 yards in front of his face. Shook that guy, did a little dance along the sideline, read the hole, and sprinted to the other side.
I still don't know how he got from the sideline to cross over. I'm like, soon as I seen, I'm like, oh, he's beating the kicker.
Oh man, he doesn't get enough love for how fast and agile he is. Because I'll tell you, the first time I learned about Khalif Raymond was probably Madden 2020. You go to the free agency, and you sort by speed and agility when you're rebuilding, and it was always Khalif Raymond at the top. And I mean, hey, it's real life. It's 2025. He's still making plays. That's all we got. Lions win 34-10. That's 3 wins in a row. They're 3-1. On to Cincinnati next week. On to Kansas City the next week. Then the Bucs back home. Not a home game for a couple weeks now. Monday Night Football before the bye. But we're going to play out of here with Jared Goff's answer to my question about Khalif Raymond. But I'm Ben Raven. He's Kory Woods. And we are your MLive Dungeon of Doom podcast. We'll see you next week for the mailbag pod. So get those questions in. Dungeon of Doom at MLive.com. Please send us a voice memo. We love playing those. Don't overthink it. Khalif Raymond is one of those day one guys since Brad and Dan got here. Just what does he mean to this franchise to be able to pick up on a punt return like that?
Amazing. Yeah, he's one of those heartbeat guys for us and kind of does everything right every day. He's a great guy to be around. Is a mentor and a role model for a lot of these guys. And I love having him as a teammate. He's incredible. He breathes life into people. It's fun seeing him succeed like that and have those moments, but it's not surprising at all. He's a stud, and I hope he keeps doing it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.